I ask Alicia, what version are we sending? You know, we make the decisions, right? We sit with her A&R person and her creative, whoever's making the choices creatively. Okay, this is the version. Then I try to make a mix template and I commit what Serban's saying, like the elements of plugins that I might have added to the track that's part of production. And then I leave all the vocal chains, everything on the drums and the music. I leave that and say, Manny knows, like here's my 5 plugins. And I try to keep my plugin situation simple because I never know where I'm going to be, right? I don't know what rig I'm going to be on. Yeah, most times I have my own rig, but I could get flown out to Teldex, Germany and be on some old rig, and I have to make sure these 6 plugins work. So I think the organization, and sometimes less is more, what Serban's saying, and the organization of it all is key. You know, like just going through your sessions and asking what version are we sending to Serban to mix, right? Or it's sometimes you get sessions with all the faders at 0. There's playlists and audio files and wrong playlists up that I'll get a mix sometimes, and it's like, what am I listening to? Is not even, you know, give them the 2-track, give them your rough mix as well to see where that's the thing the artist has been listening to and living with. Put that in your session as a guide, right? So in case for some weirdness, maybe a plugin isn't loading up, that's important, or maybe a playlist got switched by accident. They could say, I'm listening to your rough mix and what you gave me is different, right? Like you've had those situations, I'm sure. But
so, you know, and to speak to that too, is a lot of it is insecurity from having so many choices like you guys talked about. I remember printing versions of the mix stems with and without effects, because I will always feel like Serban or Manny could recreate whatever I did. You know, like if I had a reverb on a certain instrument,
right.
I always felt like, oh, they have way better reverbs than I had. And then I will send it to them and they will say, well, just keep the one you had. You know, like that's the vibe. That's the vibe of the song. Don't try to recreate something that already has the vibe that carries the song and it got it this far, like Manny said. So I think a lot of it has to do with being confident in making those choices and getting comfortable with your own voice as a recording engineer, or just as someone that's writing a song, just getting comfortable with the tones and the textures and the energy that you're creating and recording.
And don't get caught up in the politics. Like, don't take the role that you're supposed to mix something, or take the role that you're supposed to produce something as an engineer. I had we collaborate. Me and Alicia collaborate. There's no, I'm a producer and you're the engineer. We're collaborators. Don't take the role of, well, I put these 4 plugins and it's production, so I'm going to take it off because I'm not getting credit. Forget the politics. Pass off what you have to the mixer. It's the artist that's making the music. It's their art. You know what I mean?